Welcome to episode 5 of the MidLegs Podcast. We have a name for it right off the bat. Who the hell is Eric Miller? The Giants are the softest team. We're getting Blalock Media rage for once because that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. There are multiple things that I had issues with. You know, whatever. Okay, you're a little bit mad at Steer because you know what? He got a hit and he was jawing you up. You beat him First one you beat him. Oh, he should have gone after him then. You win the game by getting 3 unearned runs, and then suddenly, oh my goodness, we're so good. We're so good. Talk, 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 talk. You won because you had 3 unearned runs. You don't get to do that. Not to mention the umpires bungled this up because they didn't warn after Steer got hit. And that was very intentional. So then Phillips goes and hits Adames in the 8th inning? And he gets thrown out? That's shit.
Wow. I wasn't ready for that start. Welcome. Hello, everybody. This it was outrageous yesterday. What an entertaining game though. Because I feel like the Reds are never really usually involved in beef like this. Not since Amir Gary,
at least.
Pirates,
not since Clint Hurdle.
Yeah, right. And it's interesting that the Giants were the team that really set them off. But I on Twitter yesterday, I'm seeing a lot of oh, this is the Reds' instigation. No, it wasn't. What an outrageous thought. Because not only did they not start the beef, but Eric Miller coming out at the end of that game and yelling at Sal Stewart like that after he had been fucking bombing on you guys all series. What a ridiculous moment from him. It's whoa.
Who even is Eric Miller? Who is Eric Miller to talk? I've never heard of this guy until he's sitting up on the mound and talk. You're not a good pitcher, bro. You're not. Yeah, okay, no. You're a closer for the Giants who have notoriously always had good bullpens, right? In the last 6 years? Who are you? Who in the world are you?
Let's even talk about his baseball savant real quick because I gotta pull it up. A 33 percentile for pitching run value, a 23 percentile for fastball run value. This guy, what are you doing? Why are you talking shit to us?
Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Especially after it's a 3-0 win in a series you've already lost because you guys played like shit the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
You're 7-12. Like, walk off the field and get back to San Francisco. It's wow. I actually didn't think it was going to make me that mad, but I missed the 9th inning. It was the only part of this game I missed yesterday. I missed the 9th inning when the bench is cleared. And when I saw that yesterday, it got me so hot because I was like, "What are we doing?"
Ridiculous. And again, I'm still annoyed at the umpires because I was listening to Cowboy in the 2nd inning when Steer got plunked, and that was so obviously, he got hit right in the hip,
and they didn't warn anybody.
And Cowboy said it: when you don't warn anybody, that's 3 18-wheelers wide of a door. That is how big the door is for retaliation.
Yeah.
And then you throw them out after that? No. We even waited. Until it was Connor Phillips and not Chase Burns. So that Adames, we did them a favor because we made sure that Adames wasn't going to be eating 100-mile-an-hour fastball or anything like that. We waited until Phillips was in before we did it. We should get something for that at least, But no, they still toss him out. I think that's stupid.
It was super dumb. Not warning him. And then Eric Miller's reaction was bad. I thought Adames' reaction was sad. He's like big tough guy staring down Connor Phillips. Obviously Phillips gets tossed for this. So in a vacuum, it's Phillips' fault, right? Sure. But Adames stares him down. The bat boy comes out and he's shaking his head at Connor Phillips. What, dude? You are a bat boy. It blows my mind the way that these guys acted. And just a reminder, they are well under 500. This is not a good baseball team, and they should be. They have good fucking talent on it.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they're talking shit? What are you doing? It's honestly, if I was a Giants fan, I'd be fucking pissed. I would be like, sure, yeah, you got a fire lit under you, but this is what you're focused on? You're 5 games from 500. Go win some baseball games.
It's not even the fact that, because we've seen the Reds get into like little fights like this before. We talked about the Pirates one, or I think the last time the Reds really got into a fight was when Castellanos had to stand over home plate, which that was stupid. He got that many.
Wow.
That was stupid. He got that many against the Cardinals.
I forgot about that.
But I mean, it is legitimately ridiculous when you're sitting there. You're this early in the season. It's your own fault because you plunked Steer. Whatever Steer said, but you can't tell me that's not normal jawing. That's not normal jawing during a baseball game.
The pitcher was talking shit to Steer before Steer said anything back to him.
Exactly.
He was talking shit about him calling timeout, which is part of the game.
Yes.
Why are you yelling at him? And then you yell at Steer,
it's not his fault that the umpire granted timeout late. He wanted timeout. He didn't feel confident about the pitch. The umpire granted to him. Blame the umpire. Not
Why are you
Steer.
mad at Steer? And then you plunk him. I feel like I'm living in opposite world with these Giants fans that are complaining about this. This was your fault. You instigated.
Yes.
Blows
All I'm saying is that I'm circling August 24th, and I hope we go for the head next time.
No.
Willie
I don't
Adamas,
condone
look
this.
out.
I do not endorse this.
You know what? Because, look, if we're gonna do this, if y'all are still mad in August, we'll see. We won't start it, but next time we get thrown out against the Giants, we're not gonna go for the hip or the ribs.
There will be a mound charge if especially if the Giants throw at us first. I think somebody's charging 100%.
But
what a series, right? The first 2 games vibes were pretty high.
Yeah, I think looking at the week as a whole, the Angels series was just it hurt a little bit.
Icky.
It was because it was the same pitfalls that we had before, to where we didn't get the bats going, and really the only people who had success in that Angels series for a long stretch of it was really just Gino.
Mm-hmm.
Sal had a few
who Gino in general, by the way, the last 6 games, this Angels series and the Giants series, has looked fantastic.
Exactly. He's looked like he's even getting the small hits as well. And when people have gotten base in front of him, it's great. But as a whole, you look at the hitting and it really feels like we're basically just hitting with like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Ellie sometimes is good. Steers sometimes is good. But for the most part, it's really just, we'll count Ellie in that 3, but it's really just Ellie, Stal, and Gino. That's it. Yeah. Those are the 3 people that are really, making a difference in this lineup. Everyone else, if you can get something from somebody, sure. But we're not hitting the ball. I mean, you saw that in the Giants game. You saw that in the first Angels game. It's the same sins of the past coming back. And you see that we've addressed it because we have the additions that we've had that has helped us.
Yeah.
But
Dan
outside
Myers.
of those additions, nothing's changed.
The addition of Dan Myers has been absolutely crucial, especially the way moving Friedel out of the lineup and putting Myers in there. You could kind of tell there's just a bit more of a pep in the step of the top of the lineup, which the top of the lineup's been okay. I've got a bit of beef with Matt McClain. Where did the spring training go? I mean, you're batting 194. You were the best in spring training in multitude of categories. It's not good enough from a 2-hole guy.
Well,
a guy that
was
leading off.
Who else are you going to put him there? Because you don't have good enough from the 1-hole guy. Even if you put Dane Myers there,
he's still just above average.
I agree putting Dane Myers into the lineup. I don't agree with putting Dane Myers in the leadoff spot. And I definitely don't agree with putting TJ Friedel there right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think if Matt can kind of figure out the bat a little bit more, I'd like him in the 1 and then Dane in
move
the
Steer
2.
to the 2. I think Steer.
Or Steer in the 2.
I
don't
like
mind
Steer
that.
batting number 2, and then Ellie, Sal, Gino. You could put Dane at 6.
I think Steer's power probably keeps him from 2. I like him in the 6-7 range for that reason. Just because don't laugh at me. Just because the way 4-5 is playing, 3-4-5 is playing right now has to be absolutely electric. Those guys are batting out of their minds. So I don't know. I agree that Steer to 2 would be okay. It's something I'd like to try for sure. But for now, I don't mind him where he is. Especially with Stevenson in there too.
Oh, yeah.
In that 6-7 range. I mean, Stevenson has been quite good this year. Nothing spectacular, but
he's been what you expect out of a catcher.
Exactly. Yeah.
The biggest thing though is the fact that we got to get the bats going before the pitching runs dry.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you kind of saw it on Sunday.
It's coming.
Where we've seen it before with Chase Burns, to where he's a good pitcher. We have a lot of really good pitching, but when you don't give them, they're young. And so when you don't give them any wiggle room, it's not going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And Abbott just, I didn't catch much of that game because I was up for a family event up in my hometown, but it was a first communion mass. And so the game started at 1:40, mass was at 2. So before I turned off my phone, I got to see the Reds were down 4-0 in the first inning because Abbott got shelled. And that is a major concern because we know he hasn't looked quite how he's used to. And maybe it's just because the Angels bats are hot. Mike Trout might be one of the hottest hitters right now, but it's definitely a concern. And especially when you look at the bullpen, also started to run out of gas in that Angels series.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think it got a little bit recharged. In this Giants series, you had some really good performances from Rhett Lauder. Brady Singer looked the best that he has in a while.
He has, yes.
I think that blister's finally done because he had that bite to all of his pitches and that extra velocity that he was missing earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And I think this goes along with the fact that we are missing Nick Lodolo a lot right now.
Yeah.
Abbott, the pressure of being the ace might be what's getting to him because he just doesn't look very good at all.
No.
And maybe if we could alleviate that from him a little bit, maybe a lot, how do I say this? It would be a lot calmer for him on the mound. He wouldn't have to be going toe-to-toe with Soriano or Crochet or any of these other star aces that are around the league. Maybe that's something that he needs. Just to instill a little bit more confidence in him. And it starts with Nick Lodolo coming back from that blister injury.
Or at the very least, get the bats going behind him.
Yeah.
Because he's facing these tough pitchers. Obviously, we couldn't get anything against Soriano. We couldn't get anything against Crochet. We haven't really been able to get anything when Abbott's been on the mound.
No. Yeah, and think about that Sunday game with Abbott on the mound. Ended 9-6. Didn't look that great at the beginning. It was a 9-0 game going into the 8th. And then Stewart drives in, Friedel, Ellie scored on a wild pitch. Yada yada, and then Ellie hit a 3-run dinger to take it to 9-6. So it looked a lot better than it presented. But why couldn't the bats get going before that? They needed the Angels bullpen to get in, I guess.
Soriano's looked incredible so far this year. I picked him up on my fantasy team.
He had 10 strikeouts against us.
This is how good he is. I picked him up on my fantasy team, and he hasn't crumbled like everyone else who's picked up. I picked up on my fantasy.
For those that don't know,
Aaron Judge was awful the first 3 days. That was my fault.
For those that don't know, we have something in our friend group called the Blalock curse. If Carl Blalock says something's going to happen, the opposite's going to happen because that's just the way it works. Carl knows his ball, but they just decide to stop doing what they're doing once he talks about it.
It is absolutely insane because it's only in cases. The only time it doesn't happen is when it's in cases to where I wish it would happen because it's very negative.
Yeah,
There was,
yes.
I remember, and I don't know if we were close enough yet, but you can ask Ethan. I remember week 3 of the NFL season in 2021, the Indianapolis Colts, they lost some stupid game. They went 1-2. And I remember sitting there after that game and going, we're going to miss the playoffs because we're going to have a win-it-in game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this was the Urban Meyer year, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we're going to lose in Jacksonville in week 18 and miss the playoffs.
That was Urban Meyer's second win of the season.
I said that in
right?
September. I said that in September, and it happened. And I remember, were you there at courtside that day?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think we were that close yet.
Well, I couldn't remember. Well, we had quite a few juniors there, or of your class there as well. So I wasn't sure, but yeah, no. Bad day. Bad day.
Yeah. So Carl likes to jinx things. Is basically the point.
I don't like the jinx. It happens.
Yeah, you're right.
It happens.
But 3-3 over the last 6 isn't terrible.
It's not.
Would have loved to take another one from the Angels. What we talked about last Friday, obviously, was that we thought we could win both of these series. To not win the Angels series really hurts me.
Well,
but
and the thing is, the fact that the Angels played much better than us. The only reason why we even got a game in that series was because they gave up 9 walks and their defense kind of struggled with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, luckily, we had Suarez and we had Sal that were able to, punish the Angels for their walks. But outside of that, like, it was. I did my recap video for that one, and I'm like, do you want a cookie? Like, we didn't do anything different. We just got walked 9 times. We were able to, make them pay for it, and that's all that happened there. Like, I'm not, that was a really bad series for us. San Francisco looked a lot better, but we're gonna have to figure it out because
yesterday's game was poor. It was really poor from the batting, the bats. Only one hit.
That's their fourth. That's their 4th best pitcher there, and the Giants don't exactly have a great staff.
No. I understand getting out hit by a team like the Giants. Again, the Giants are 7-12. Their bats are pretty freaking good. Luis Arias, Adames, Rafael Devers.
Nobody's hitting though. That's the issue. I mean, Matt Chapman's the only one that's really hitting for him.
Mm-hmm. But on paper, that looks like a good batting team. So you'd assume that you'd at least be outscored. The fact that we had 1 hit and it was from PJ Higgins.
Yeah.
So it's poor. It's really poor. And who was on the mound for this game? Landon Raup.
Yeah.
Like,
we talked about who is Eric Miller. Who's that guy?
Yeah. Come on. I mean, get a freaking grip. So that yesterday's game really hurt, especially getting blanked. We lose that game 3-2. I understand, but the fact that we had 1 hit,
and it was unearned runs too because Ellie had that error at the beginning of that 7th. And that would have been
which he's
out.
Been so good fielding this year. He's been avoiding the errors like we saw last year, which was at such a high rate. It's really disappointing to see that come back, but.
I think the biggest thing is they're kind of trying to figure out the territory. They were talking about this on one of the radio broadcasts I caught the other day, where it feels like they're kind of trying to figure out where Key Bryan's area starts and where Ellie's start. Because as good as he is defensively, he has kind of had a little bit of a slower start. He hasn't made as many of those incredible plays as what he normally has. He's still making some great plays, but I mean, they're not. It's not like the spectacular web gem sort of plays that we're used to seeing from him that he used to do against us all the time. And he even had a few of those last year as well for us. And so we haven't seen that yet. And so I think we're kind of trying to see where they're trying to figure out on that side of the infield who is covering what.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Ke'Bryan, and I wanted to really focus on this today because I would say going into last week's episode, I was kind of sick of him. It's just his batting's so bad, and he hasn't been making the spectacular defensive plays we wanted to see.
And I told you, he's been making good contact. He's hitting it to where they are, and the stats
he's been making
that.
Outrageous contact. His expected batting average is 252. He's batting almost 200 below that at .064. That is insane. It's not even like, sometimes you see a stat and you're like, wow, that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is insane. He should be batting at an average that would be respectable. But instead he's batting at, that's one of the worst, got to be one of the worst batting averages in the league from a regular starter, right? I don't know how I'd look at that, but I'd assume.
It's not great.
He's not striking out a ton either. He's in 99th percentile for strikeout percentage.
He's doing everything he needs to be a good hitter. Mm-hmm. And we don't need him to be a great hitter. We just need him to be a serviceable hitter. And he's doing all those things. He just keeps hitting it directly into the second baseman's glove, the third baseman's glove, the shortstop's glove. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the barrel percentage is pretty good, too. He's in the 44th percentile for that. Like, this is not a guy that is whiffing and striking out a ton, and that's why his batting average is low. I mean, he even got on base in one of those hits, but it didn't count because it was fielder's choice at second. Because I think it was Steer's slow ass couldn't get to second in time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know with Brian Hayes. I don't know if I really want to pull the plug on him yet. No. I think I want to keep leaving him out there and let him see.
Just with that defense alone, even though he's not at the level that he's normally at defensively yet, he's still making plays that are very important for this team and keeping us in these ball games.
Yeah,
you need that defense, and so
I agree 100%. He's 0 for 23 in his last 23. Terry Francona, after the game yesterday, said about his hitless streak. I love this quote: "The guys were pretty good last night. They were pretty good. Trevino said something about getting a chicken and having it sacrificed. I told him if we need to, we'll get a human." We'll find somebody. I thought that was a hilarious quote. Somebody in the top comment on that tweet said, if Terry gets to choose, it's going to be Will Benson.
Oh, no. Yeah. You know, I kind of wanted to talk about that because that's something, I don't remember if we got to it on last week's episode, but it's something that's really confused me. And we're doing it again with Rhys Hines, who just got called up this week. And that is, what is he doing platooning? So we're not platooning anymore with Rhys Hines. Hines is just playing every day because that's what he needs. He needs the major league at-bats to figure out if he's a 4A player or if he's actually going to make it in the major leagues.
Right.
So far, it kind of looks like he's just a 4A player.
Looks a little effy.
But the thing that confuses me is the fact that Will Benson never gets any hits against left-handed pitchers, it feels like, which we talked about that before. But why do we have Novelli Marte when he was up only face those left-handed hitters? And then we called up Rhys Hines. You called him up against a left-handed pitcher to start off, who even in the minor leagues where he's been super hot, he's not hit against left-handed pitching.
No.
I don't get the idea there and what exactly the plan is for that.
No, I don't either. But we are kind of facing an interesting issue with the outfielders. Like, nothing's really sticking. Like, they're okay, but nothing's really sticking. Dane Myers, again, I think people that watch this podcast will probably think that I'm a Dane Myers fanboy, but I kind of am because I love what I've seen from him. Whenever he's filled in for one of those roles, whether it's Friedel or one of the left or right fielders. And obviously we've talked about us being Will Benson fanboys.
Yes, huge Will Benson fanboys.
But nothing's strong enough for me to sit here and say this guy needs to play. I don't feel like Will Benson needs to play right now. I think he needs to figure it out a little bit more, and I'll feel that way, even as a bit of a super fan. But he's batting what? He's batting. Sorry, give me 1 second.
I think he's around like 180.
Yeah, he's 179. He's got 5 hits on the year, only 28 plate appearances. Maybe some more time. And that's kind of how I feel about all these guys. They just need some more time. Brian Hayes needs some more time. He needs, and once that ball starts falling for Key, things are going to be different, especially for a guy that's in the 9-hole right now. Steers had some great hits that he morning track power hits that just were barely not far enough. Stevenson, same thing.
We're gonna
Once
get it
these
figured out.
guys get it figured
We're
out,
gonna get
it's
it
gonna
figured.
be different.
Now, the thing that scares me is I don't know if you've seen the weather forecast for this weekend, right?
Nope. Oh,
It's supposed to snow in
yes.
Columbus on Sunday.
Yeah, I
If
don't
it's
know if that'll
supposed to,
happen. I think it'll
there's a
be a
chance.
little too warm.
There's a chance of it snowing in Columbus.
Yes.
If there's a chance of it snowing in Columbus, imagine what the temperature is like up in Minneapolis.
No, bad.
That's
I
not
don't
good
know.
for the bats.
Let's look.
Yeah,
We play them
we
when?
play them this weekend. It starts tonight.
Yeah, tonight and then
At least the other two are
we
day games at the very
yeah,
least.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, so tonight it's good night tonight. It'll be like it's 56 right now. It'll go get up to like 68.
okay,
Tomorrow 41, Sunday 45. That's pretty cold.
yeah,
Pretty
it's
cold
not
for
good for the
baseball.
bats.
Mm-mm,
It's not
not
good
good
for
for
the
bats,
bats.
especially for a team that doesn't really hit well when it's cold out. Which nobody really does, but you know what I
No,
mean.
but still, that's not ideal.
One thing I want to mention before we kind of transition into talking about upcoming upcoming games. The Reds, best team in ABS challenges this year. How
Really?
about that? They're the most successful overturn team on the batting side. They've won 69% of their ABS challenges. The next closest, 62%, the Texas Rangers.
Well,
Um,
that's not surprising though. You look at how many times where I mean, especially like Ellie, for example, has gotten screwed because he's so tall on the
yeah,
strike zone. The strike zone seemed way bigger. I think it's also why he's not striking out. He's still
yeah.
striking out a decent amount, but not as much as before because of the tweaks they've had to make with the zone to format ABS.
I do wish we had individual players' stats for their ABS challenges because Ellie's been very good at it. Gino, Gino's won a lot of his ABS challenges as well. And anyways, on the other side of it, successful overturns for fielding teams, we are second in the league at 77%. Mets are right behind us at 76. Detroit ahead of us at 86%. Wow. They've had 14 challenges. They've won 12 and lost 2. Absolutely fantastic from the Tigers. We won 10, lost 3. So we're taking advantage of the new rules.
Oh yeah,
at
well,
least.
and again,
I'm very happy about that.
we have Tyler Stevenson. If there's one thing with him as a catcher, he's very good at reading the zone.
Yes, he is. Yes,
Very
he is.
good at reading the
And
zone.
again, I'd love to see specific player challenges because it seems like he is.
Well, I mean, defensively, he's going to be the only person who's going to do it outside of the one or two games Trevino's back there.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, as good as we are at it, I'm not sure if we're using it fully because there's quite a few times where I feel like we could have used it there.
Yes,
let's go a little bit
agree.
outside.
Well, they only get 2. They only get to lose 2
you only
in a
get
game.
2, but I mean, if you could have it work, and there's some situations to where it'd be nice to be able to use it like that. I think we're still trying to figure out the strategy of it for sure.
Yeah, a lot of teams are. I get it. Okay, let's talk about upcoming.
Yeah, the Twins this week, and I'm not exactly liking the way that we're looking at I mean, obviously, cold is not going to help, and we're facing the 3 best pitchers tonight. We've got Williamson up against Joe Ryan, 2-1, 3.8 ERA, 22 strikeouts, and a sub-1 WHIP. Not liking that. Not liking that. That's not the sort of pitcher that is necessarily good for us going up against Williamson, who has looked a little bit better, but obviously, we gotta
we only really have one game as a sticking point for that because he looked really good at his last outing, but before that, I mean, it's been iffy. I'd love to see him keep it going, obviously, but we'll see.
Another flamethrower with Taj Bradley, who has a 1.25 ERA, 3-0, and almost 22 innings pitched, 29 strikeouts.
See, I feel like that's the thing about the Twins. The Twins have really honestly always had the past couple of years have had really good pitching cores. Even Bailey Ober is pretty good. I don't know how he's pitching this season. I know he had a good year last year. He's won his last three
We see him on
outings.
Sunday.
Yeah, we will see him on Sunday. So yeah, those three, it's really not great. Ryan, Bradley, and Ober. It's gonna be a tough pitching. It's gonna be a tough batting day for us, I feel like.
Yeah, between the cold and that, that's
Yeah,
not excited for that. And then I believe we're going to the Trop.
we are. We're going to the
Tampa
worst
Bay.
venue in professional sports.
Hmm.
Crazy. So yeah, it is. Here's my argument. Because listen, I got family in Tampa. My great uncle, huge Tampa Bay Rays fan. And I love him for it because yikes. That stadium, not only is it a bad venue, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's in St. Petersburg, which is like a 30-minute drive from Tampa.
You got to go over a big bridge you would not find me on ever.
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 And not only is it in St. Petersburg, it's in like the corner of St. Petersburg. It's in a very like old, I don't want to say old people area, but like a retirement area where you go and live after you're done working. It's a terrible location. Not that this has anything to do with what we're about to talk
it's also in Florida. Like in itself, it's in Florida. Like Florida's not built for baseball.
No, not really. But, so yeah, that'll be interesting. It doesn't say who we have facing Louder on Monday. I don't know.
It's the Rays, dude. I mean, they make Kevin Cash always runs his rotation on a whim. We could see three different relievers. Maybe they'll go the full way. Maybe they won't.
True.
Who knows?
But I think that's a series we could win. The Rays are obviously a decent team in the bats, but how are they doing this season? They're 11-7. First in the AL East, which is, we've talked about the AL East before. It's a damn good division. By the way, Boston, who we thought was going to have a really good year, 7-11 right now. Not ideal. They've been facing some pretty difficult teams. They had a series against the Brewers. They just played. Who did they just play? The Twins.
Yeah, just had the Twins.
They lost two.
They lost two. Well, one of those, they did get the bats going on one of them. I saw that. They won that a lot.
13-6 game was. Yeah. Oh, they lost that one actually. 9-5 yesterday.
Yeah,
against the Twins.
I saw that one.
Yeah, it looks
that's
like
the other thing. The Twins' bats are going. I mean, we'll see if they're adapt to the cold, but I don't. My
favorite non-red plays for the Twins, Byron Buxton.
Byron Buxton. Oh, that makes sense. We can't have anything good in our fandoms.
I love him. Hopefully, he won't do anything next 3 games.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
So yeah, but, I'm looking forward to this week. It's not as interesting of a game week that we've had.
It's 2 American League teams. I mean, this is a thing to where you get, you get into this part where now you're playing every team every year, and where it's just, what are the storylines for this? Because there's not.
Yeah.
We never play these guys. No. The storyline is we have to go to Tropicana Field.
Yes, exactly. Storyline might be like, let's stay first in NL Central. Tied with the Pirates right now at 11-8.
Yeah.
Who do the Pirates have coming up? Let's see. They have full schedule, please. They have Tampa right before us. While we're playing the Twins, they'll be playing Tampa at home, and then they'll go to the Rangers. Which Rangers are an interesting team because they're over 500, but they didn't look like an over 500 team against us by any means. Lost all 3, obviously, but it was a pitching matchup. I think Pittsburgh will probably have an advantage in that aspect.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
Braxton Ashcraft has been really good. That's somebody who's really surprised me.
Yeah.
So, well, that'll wrap up the episode for this one. Yeah. Whoops. I guess we got a little bit potty mouth. Oh, well. I mean.
Yeah, sorry.
The Giants deserve to be cussed at.
I let it fly a little bit more today. I wasn't ready for it, but then we started talking about the Giants.
We started talking about the Giants right off the bat. The Giants deserve to be cussed at. They are, that's sad. They're just.
I guess one more thing we can mention before we go.
Yeah.
everybody in the NL Central is either 500 or higher. This is not the NL Central you grew up with, folks.
Yes, it is.
No,
it's back to the NL Central we grew up with.
Oh, sorry. It's not the NL Central you've gotten to know over the last 10 years. This is what I should say.
This is the NL. We're back to 2015 again.
Yeah.
2013 and no.
Chicago and Milwaukee at the bottom too. Very interesting.
I'm not surprised
with
by
Pittsburgh
Chicago.
and Cincinnati.
I never was sold on Chicago, but
no, especially after losing Kyle Tucker, you just kind of expected that. PCA is not hitting that well this year. Pitching core is not very good.
PCA is not good. PCA.
Hang on a second.
No,
PCA is okay.
He's okay.
I wouldn't call him not good. That's for sure.
What he's supposed to be, he's not good. He's supposed to be like, is he supposed to be like Ellie? No, he's not that good. That's all Cubs fans.
Those comps last year were crazy.
No, he's not that. He's not that. But that'll wrap up the episode. Make sure to follow Max on Twitter. Follow me on TikTok.
Follow me on TikTok too.
Oh, yeah, you got TikTok as well.
I'm starting back up.
You did some baseball streaming.
I did.
The Sluggers.
I did some Mario Superstar Baseball last Saturday. I think I got time tomorrow after I golf. I might stream again. We'll see. I don't know what I'll do.
We should live stream a ball game at some point.
Oh, we really should
watch a ball game together. That
should. That would actually be really
we'll do that at some. You know what? Maybe we'll do that when the Giants come back. With the Giants again. Oh boy! Oh, the potty mouth's there. Yeesh. Yeah. But that'll wrap up the episode. He's Maxton Brunke. I'm Carl Blalock. Hopefully you'll join us next week. Make sure to follow and like our podcast, the MidLegs Podcast, wherever you find it.